I was standing. It was we came back after the week of Gimmel Tammuz. Came back standing outside the yeshiva outside.
You're saying Gimmel Tam Tafshin and Dalet. You came back to
Shnun
me.
Dalet. Came back a week later, so maybe another few days, and a guy, the car drives by, sees me, stops. There was a rov here. One of the rabbanim he stops, says, "Oh, good, I see you. I want to ask you a question. What's going to be with all the shluchim now?" Right? How the feeling was, people didn't know. Everyone was confused. What's going to be? And he says, "Al pi halacha." Like this, till now we know shluchim shlodim k'meisi. So the shliach has to be here. The mashaleach has to be here. Now that the mashaleach is not here, and the words that they use, I'm just using it because halacha terms, even though I wouldn't use these words in the Rebbe, but the din is meisa mashaleach, but la shlichus. So how are these people shluchim all now? It's a kasha, and people ask that kasha. Sincerely, some people criticize them. The Rettenshah, a serious person who knows what Lubavitch is, and he says, "How do you explain that?" So I don't know what they should hack that in my cup. So I told him, "I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how it works." There's a din like this. It says that there's no more smicha. The real smicha that used to be in the time of the Senate, there's no more smicha. Botla smicha. And b'meila, we can't paskin dinim. So that's why the Bezdin can't paskin dinim. Knos, a certain dinim we can't paskin. What about dinim ominous? There's still Bezdin could paskin monetary disputes. This they could paskin. Based on what? If there's no smicha. So the Gemara said, for that, anan shlichusayu the Sanhedrin or something like that. We are shluchim of those. The best now are shluchim of the original Sanhedrin. But Mela, since shluch shlodim kameisei, so they have the right. But they only made it lagab a certain dinim, moment, not lagab everything else. The question is, how could they be shluchim? How could the best not be shluchim when those people from the Sanhedrin 2,000 years ago are not around anymore? So how are you shluchim now? So I told him what the pshat is. The Gemara says in Heireis that tzibur leimes. The tzibur from now is not a new tzibur. Different. The people are different, but the tzibur is an entity for itself. So the same tzibur from then. Now the Sanhedrin were tzibur. That's the tzibur represents with tzibur. Leimes. So they're still around. So what we do now, we're shluchim of those Sanhedrin that were then because they are tzibur. So I said that's the pshat. You understand? I said the Rebbe is tzibur. Rashi says in Parsha Chukas, Rashi says that Meisha hu Yisrael v'Yisrael l'Meisha nosi malamet shenosi ador kol ador. So the nosi ador is the door, is the tzibur. Is tzibur leimes. There's no in halacha. So the shlichus is just as good of a shlichus as then. The shluchim are the same. It's hasbara. Somebody can say dingen saying this is not a good hasbara, but you need a hasbara, so you have to think about it. Now the best thing is, in addition to this, that you have an ongenommen nesach. It's clear, like day, that the Rebbe is with us and everything true. But if you have a hasbara, your seichel is maskim. So you have to hasbara al panikli, you have hasbara al pichsidis, the way in the other generations that came into another guv gashmi, one Rebbe to the other. And now, since it's so close to Mashiach, it doesn't have to be it still, but that Nakuda is still there. But I'm trying to say that this needs to be done to be Mizbeinen. What is the Rebbe? And then the Prat, how's this Rebbe, the Inyan of Rebbe work? Now, if someone has no questions and doesn't need an explanation, it's sehr good. Because I don't want to be Meir Kashas.
Yeah, so the hezbollah that you gave to the Rosh Hashiva, Apinigla, is basically an explanation that the Dair is defined by the Rebbe. That the Rebbe is the Nasi Hadair. So that's the definition of the Dair. So
okay,
I'm saying it's the same. It's the same hasbara. It's the same explanation.
And therefore, and that day, since he's a tzibur, and he's continuing. But hasbara would be because tzibur leimes. It's not in halacha. It's not only leimes. We say in ruchnius, he's still here. He's still beruchnis. All good zachen. We wanted to know bepeil begashmias. He asked me this shaila. He said, "I have a halacha shaila," and he didn't mean to chepazach. Halacha shaila. How does the shluch on kemei say when there's no meshaleach begashmias? And I told him in the by a Rebbe there is no such thing. Just like by the Sanhedrin, it says because it's tzibur. The Rebbe is tzibur. So that's but there's all kinds of asboras that there is, and you have to think about it, and it's not easy, but it's definitely there.